Hi and welcome back to another video of JPlay. I am Marcus, and as you can see today I'm starting my solo playthrough of The Few and Curse. Before I get started, want to wish you all a happy new year. So at the time of the recording it's the 1st of January. Really hope you had a great start into 2022. And yeah, with that being said, the game in fact comes with, let's say, multiple modes of play. So besides the standard competitive version of the game, we also have various solo variants and also a cooperative variant. And here's the thing. I'm not 100% sure if you can play the cooperative version also as a solo player. I asked you guys on my channel, we are a survey pretty much, if you want me to do a solo playthrough or a cooperative version, and so far it seems majority of you wanted me to do a solo playthrough, so basically with one single hero. So that's what I'm going to do. On the other hand, the cooperative version seems to be the most complete, I don't know, version of the game, because it more or less has everything in there. In this one here, Operating in the Shadows, for example, that's the one I think I will go with in the end. You do a lot of things, but also it's not, I would say, the complete kind of game. Because normally in the competitive version of the game, it's more or less like a sandbox. You can do a lot of things in order to award you points, and at some point in time the game is over, then you tally up your points, and whoever has the most, I don't know, victory points in the end, or fame, or what the currency is here in respect to victory points, then you win the game. Here of course there is a proper lose condition, like it should be in a solo or cooperative version of the game. And in this one here we have created 3 different job tracks with 4 jobs each, and the idea is, and the goal is, to make it through 2 of those piles before the game ends, or I should rather say before the game ends in a defeat. In this case you will lose the game if either one of the monsters will enter San Andreas, I will show you the map in a second, or if all of the 4 monster figures are on the board. There are also some more, let's say, timer things or mechanics that you have to consider when playing this game solo, which is something I do like. And yeah, let's see how things go. Again, if you think cooperative version should be okay playing solo, I might consider doing another playthrough of this one here. But for today, let's get cracking. There are, I think, 4 characters that ship with the base game, and I only have the base game. And in the end, I decided to play as Red Hat here. She has a passive ability. You may attack a wanted bounty that is in an adjacent space. That's again something which I do not know will come into the picture in this version of the game, because in the competitive that's extremely powerful. I believe also in the cooperative version of the rules, but in this pure solo mode I'm not so sure about this, but yeah, let's see about that. And yeah, she basically can spend 2 ammo to inflict 4 additional hits. That's pretty huge actually. She has her own deck of cards. Again, I will come to those in a second. We start the game here in San Andreas, and yeah, I did paint her a little bit. I'm not really particularly proud of her, but I think it still looks much better than the standard minion. I painted most of those. I was kind of lazy for the monsters. I only pretty much quick shaded those, but we will come to those sooner or later too. Maybe I will paint them at a later point in time, but for today this will have to make do. And yeah, again, the goal of the game is to pretty much complete at least 8 jobs. In total these are 12, but we have to go through 2 piles of those, and I think then we have immediately completed the last thing here. So right now our 2 jobs that are available is the bodyguard, which is not particularly difficult to achieve. We need to come up with 2, I don't know, fighting points and 2 movement. That's okay. The survivor, yeah, we need to get to 5 health. That's something that can happen basically anytime during our turn. So once we have 5, we have 1. And for the gunslinger, also not extremely difficult. We have to get 6 ammo. Right now our maximum ammo is before though, we have to do two things. First of all, we have to increase our cap to 6, and then we also have to make our, let's say, life ammo to 6 points each. And typically something that you try to do during the game to really max out your ammunition as much as you can, because that gives you a lot of flexibility taking out some of those baddies. So yeah, I think with that being said, we should be pretty much good to go. Maybe let's have a very brief look at the current most wanted bounties out here. So we have Alistair Fairweather. He's an expedition. That is a location on the map here. We have Butch Talbot. He's in one of the canyons. We have Cowie the Coward. And by the way, I believe this is all based on a comic book series, novel kind of thing. I haven't seen it, but really intrigued me, the artwork here. And last but not least, we have the Hangman. They are in a cursed location. That means, well, that's 12, let's say, fighting points we have to come up with, or that's definitely a problem. The Coward here might be one of our targets relatively early on, because for every round we are not defeating one of those most wanted, we are still discarding one of those, and that's pretty much the timers, because at the bottom of each of those decks, and I think they have either 3 or 4 in those each, there is a monster. And again, if all 4 monsters are on the board, we immediately lose, or if one of the monsters will then finally move into San Andreas, we have also lost the game. And all of those monsters, typically, I believe they all start in those cursed corner locations up there, and then they will more or less make the move towards San Andreas. In the competitive version of the game, that's not the end of the world. The game is simply over when a monster ends the turn there. The game ends, but then you still tally up your score again in the solo mode. We definitely don't want this to happen, because then we have immediately lost. I think one last thing to go over are the items in the store here. So we have a torch and we have 2 cold walkers. Having 2 times the same weapon doesn't do anything at all in this. At least with these 2 weapons, they don't do us any good. The torch is extremely powerful, but we need basically 6 of those water bugs. And yeah, this is all based in a civilization where I'm not really sure what happened. There is a story that explains it. Maybe, yeah, I think we can have, in fact, a look at the lore of this game. The Few and the Curse is a deck-building adventure game that takes place in a post-apocalyptic Earth where most of the water on the planet has been gone for 70 years. Without water, civilization halted, leaving the world's inhabitants with technology reminiscent of the Old West. That's the thing that really drew me to this game. In the game, players take on the role of a curse chaser. Right now, we are red up here, and looking to make a name for themselves by searching for supernatural artifacts, completing jobs, or bounty hunting. Players traverse the desert of the Pacific Ocean as they improvise and acquire new cards for their deck on their quest for infamy. So yeah, basically these things are water dollars, more or less. It's dollars, or it's these things. You could use poker chips, but we are going with water here, similar to Dune. Okay then, let's get started. The first step during each given round is the improvise step. We will look at the top 2 cards of the upgrade deck, add 1 to your hand and discard the other. So unlike other deck building games, you're not really buying your cards, you pretty much get them for free. That's the one piece where I don't think I fully like that, honestly. I really like to work for my cards, but yeah, I will take it no matter what. And there is a huge pile of upgrade cards, so even without any expansions or whatnot, you already get a lot of these cards. So these are the 2 cards we will start this round, and then we pick one of those, and they are both terrific. Wow, these are extremely powerful cards. We have the hired gun. Again, the artwork is top notch in this game. And we have the supernatural speed. They simply give us +3 movement or +3 fighting power. And I think getting movement early on might be our better thing. Maybe before we do, we will basically be allowed to have a look at our hand of cards, actually. Maybe this will help us to decide, actually, because we get these cards into our hand. That's also very untypical for a deck builder. But boy, looking at our hand of cards, I already start to think we shouldn't really go with the movement card here because, yeah, we can move like crazy, but this doesn't really help us in any way. These two cards here, the curse card, it allows us to copy the effect of another card played this phase, and if it's an artifact, blah, 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 but it will come with a curse. So that's a bad thing. Getting this resource here is bad. We don't want to get cursed too often or too soon. So I guess, yeah, let's change the plan. We will go with the hired gun instead. The other card simply gets discarded as mentioned. So that was already the improvised steps, and all the players do that simultaneously typically. Up next we have the encounter phase, and depending on where you are, things will look a little bit different. In San Andreas we will either shop or we will have to visit the job board. Here's already one of the things where I'm not 100% sure. Actually, if you play with normal jobs during this game, I really don't know actually if you still have your standard jobs in your hand. Yeah, I really don't know actually, but we could also shop. The problem is Red Hat doesn't start with any money whatsoever. That's already a bad thing. So we are not able to afford anything. So maybe I think we should be allowed to go for the job thing. Yeah, let's do that. Again, it will not help us in winning the game, but it will still allow us to earn some extra money and grit. But again, grit is, by the way, the victory points here, doesn't really do us anything good in this particular version of the game. But okay then, so we are drawing two cards from the job deck. We keep them both and add them to the cards we basically started the game with. This is a drafting. You draw 4 cards and you're allowed to keep 2 of those. So we started the game with a tour guide and camp in ruins, which are fairly easy things to achieve, at least this one here. And we have now drawn the hardened and the ruins of Palinnik. So basically we have to camp there too, which might be, nah, that's Palenk. Doesn't really help us immediately right now. This one here, wow, that's the hardened one. We need to get to 7 strength points basically, or vitality points, in order to achieve this one here. And again, the way how I understand it now, this solo mode is that you treat these normal jobs completely different to the jobs you have to complete in these 3 job tracks here. But that's how I assume it. I didn't really find something online. Maybe I'm wrong, then let me know, but I don't really think it will break the game anyway. So what we can do now is we have to hold on to all of those, and in a normal competitive mode of the game, every job you have at the end of the game will cost you some actual grit, by the way. Is it 3 points, 5 points? Let me check. I'm not really 100% sure. No, you will simply lose the points that the card is worth. So this is what you gain, and but also what you lose if you have it at the end of the game. If you're not playing for grit in this solo mode, it doesn't really hurt us anyway. What we can do next is to sell a job, and you can sell any of these jobs here, one of those jobs, for the water value up here. And I think we want really some money right now, so we are basically getting rid of this job here for money. Water money, that is. So we have at least something in our pockets, but still not great. But yeah, that was already our encounter phase, so we'll hold on to those job cards here too. And after the encounter phase, we are actually moving into the action phase. So we can now play cards to generate resources like movement, like fighting or other stuff. And in this case, yeah, we definitely want to move and or fight. As we are in a good position now to complete the bodyguard job here, I think that's what we are going to do. Problem is, we don't have an awful lot of movement actually. And for whatever reason, I want to move out of San Andreas, but maybe also not. So yeah, no, we will for now stay in San Andreas. So we want to generate resources, and for the bodyguard job we need 2 fighting points and 2 movement. The fighting, in theory, could come from our standard ability here. Spending 2 ammunition to generate 4 fighting points. That's definitely wasteful, because we only need 2 of those. So I think in this case we want to generate 2 movement. So these are the expert tracker here. These are 2 movement points we generated, and we will also play the hired gun here, which will generate 3 fighting points, which in theory stays as long as the phase is, let's say, active. So during the action phase, whatever you generate will stay within the action phase. And similarly, whatever you create in the encounter phase will also be available for you in the encounter phase. Problem is, at the end of these phases, all of those resources and cards are pretty much lost. So they're not carrying over into another phase, that is. So, but I think that's pretty okay, actually. So we basically generated this. We have more or less solved this job here. We get 1 more water for this. Was a rather easy job, but this brings us to 5, and the 5 could give us an extra gun, so that's definitely helpful. And we will get 2 grit. Again, grit in this version of the game doesn't really help us, but we will track it down anyway. The first thing has been solved. Awesome job. We will immediately reveal the next card in this track, and that's the Taskmaster. And oh, actually, I don't think that this job works, because that's one of those jobs which gives you 3 points for every job you've completed. That's one of those jobs that you don't really have to fulfill during the game, and this doesn't really help. And I think, do the rules mention, oh, these are really crappy solo rules, actually. No, they only tell you to replace any duplicates. It's not even clear if you have to remove duplicates only within each of those piles, or if you do that. I think I don't have any duplicates now in this track because it's so unclear, but really they could have mentioned it. Simply remove it, this card from deck. So this doesn't really help us, the Taskmaster, obviously. So we are basically getting rid of it, and we are simply drawing another card, which is the Cursed Crow. And oh, that's a bad one. That's a really bad and difficult one, because in order to fulfill this, we basically have to get cursed up to 8. Our curse level needs to get there. Or is it the maximum curse? But anyway, it's really no, that's the 8. How should we actually, how are we supposed to extend this? Oh no, we can increase the curse threshold. Yes, we can do that by shopping in town here. So for $3 we can also increase our curse threshold. So we have to do that 4 more times. That's $12, which is definitely a lot, actually. And then we also need to get cursed up to that level. Again, that's definitely doable and possible by some of those cards, but wow, that's a tough one, actually. That's something we may not be able to fulfill anytime soon, actually. Okay, in theory, we can still play actions. For example, playing this curse card here, which allows us to copy the card of the effect of another card. For example, the expert tracker, which would generate some movement points for us. But right now, I don't feel like moving out. I want to stay in San Andreas 1 more round to buy something. Yeah, I think let's do that instead. And let's call it an action phase. So all cards we played in the action phase are also discarded into our discard pile. Normal deck builder stuff here. We are allowed to pretty much discard cards from our hand. And here I'm not 100% sure if I will definitely discard one of those cursed cards here. Let's not have too many of those in our hand. The more we discard, the faster we browse through our deck. But browsing through your deck also means you're basically getting teleported back to San Andreas at the end of your round, unless you are basically resting, which is then bypassing that rule. You're also reshuffling your cards, but pretty sure I will come to that too. No, let's discard this one too. Then we are drawing back up to 4 cards. Oh, 4 higher. That generates $2 to us. Oh, that's amazing, actually. That's pretty amazing. The survivors, some more fighting points. Maybe let's zoom up a little bit. Okay, let's keep going. And then, yeah, that's another curse. Good that I discarded this one. And last but not least, the expert tracker, some more movement. So that's a pretty agile hand, I would say. I like this one much better than our starting hand. And normally the round would be over now, but because we are playing solo, we have to get rid of one of those most wanted cards because we haven't captured one, which is not unlikely. And I think we are going with the Hangman for now. It's by far the or the Alistair Fairweather. Which one is better actually? They reduce our thing, this gives us our thing. And if we are looking at our Cursed Crow job down here, he might help us, but I'm pretty sure he will not stick around for an awful lot of time. No, let's get rid of the Hangman for now. So these are out, they are simply escape, they will never to return. That's simply the timer of the game. We have 2 more cards in this deck before the monster shows up. And here we have Bartholomew Emus. Oh, 14. You must be kidding me. Okay, also not really one of those monsters. It's simply a most wanted character, that is. And that's now really the end of the round. So we are coming back to the start of the next round. We will start with the improvised step, drawing 1, 2 more cards. So we have another hired gun. And we have the Path of Enlightenment. With the hired gun, we might be actually able to do stuff. And maybe that's what we are going with. This is a good one here. Gives us movement and reduces our curse. So that's also a pretty powerful card. But for now... we already have taken one of those. That's really problematic. No, I think we will go with the Path of Enlightenment this time. We need some more movement for sure. So let's add this into our hand. So we have some movement available. Not sure if we need 2 this round, but we can hold on to one of the cards for the next round easily. And yeah, I think ideally we want to get rid of one of those most wanted cards. At least we will get something for it. I think that's the idea here at least. But we are moving into the encounter phase. We are still in San Andreas, but this time we are not going to get new jobs. We want to shop stuff. And we can basically go through one refresh step, which allows us to pretty much discard all of those cards. And I think really you have to discard all cards. You cannot simply discard just one card. At least that's how I understand those rules. The rules seem very simple when you read them, but then when you start playing, it seems they're really lacking a lot of details here. It's not unplayable, but sometimes you really are left with some more questions than you get answers from. So I think in this case, yeah, we have $5 actually. Yeah, with $5 we could afford one of those coals, and I think let's do that. So we are spending all our money here to buy a Cold Walker. And are these replaced right away? And yes, they are replaced right away. Oh, the horse, that's an extremely powerful one. It simply generates you 2 movement once per round. Oh, that's an amazing one. Yeah, I do want that horse as soon as possible. The torch is also quite powerful actually. That's tempting. Okay, but let's equip our Cold Walker. And yeah, it simply goes into our hands. It's a one-handed thing here, so we can hold, I don't know, 2 one-handed items or 1 two-handed items, obviously. The Cold Walker generates only 2 fighting power, but only for 1 ammunition. So it allows us a little bit more flexibility, because here we always have to spend 2 ammunition and then we may overpay. In this case, we can fine-tune things a little bit. So I think that's a pretty cool combination actually. In theory, we could continue to purchase. We are out of money, so let's simply end the encounter step. And I think up next we do want to move, and I believe we want to generate some extra dollars. So we can do these things in any order. We are playing the for hire card here. This gives us simply $2. Simple as that. That's really a cool card. Want to have this in our hand. The idea now next is to move down here. This is a desert location. These things where you see icons are pretty much paths here. So sometimes they're very clearly to recognize, here not so much, but you still see 2 icons here, which means you can move over here. Led to some confusions here. There's a very small path, but as soon as you see icons, you know that you are allowed to move. And again, we want to move to the desert because we can take out one of those most wanted characters. So let's do that. So we are playing for a movement card here, the expert tracker. We need one of those. We are moving down here to the desert locations. And because Howie the coward was seen in the desert, last seen in desert, we know he's basically in any of those desert spaces. In order to defeat him, we need to come up with 6 fighting points, which shouldn't be that big of a deal actually. So in order to do that, maybe let's bring on this guy here. We need to play this card here, the Survivor. This generates 2 fighting points. We need 4 more. So I guess we need to spend our 2 ammunition we have to come up with 4 of those. And you can do this, let's say, printed action multiple times. As long as you have ammunition, you can still do that. But in total, we have now 6 fighting points, which defeats the coward here. This generates $4 more. Nice. I take it. We are now up to 6, which is enough for the horse, mind you. Awesome. And then, yeah, we will also collect 2 grit. But again, I'm just collecting this for whatever reason. Not quite sure. Again, for the cooperative version, all of these things do work. And the more I think about it, I think I really should have played the cooperative scenario. That is, I'm relatively certain it also works in solo mode. Okay, but this guy is out. You typically hold on to him. But again, in the solo mode, that doesn't really matter too much. We are still in our action phase, so we can continue to move. And we do have 1 more movement card. So maybe, do we want to move over here? I think these are ruins. So the idea potentially might be to move down here to Mountain View, because here are some of those relics which we can gather pretty much for free. So we are playing... Oh, that's interesting now. No, let's play this card here. We could reduce our curse. We are already basically at the bottom, so it doesn't really help us. So we are simply moving over here to the ruin space with the movement point. And I think, yeah, we still have the copy card here. So we could copy another card. So we could generate basically 1 more movement point here on this trip. Because it's a dangerous path, we also need to come up with a fighting point. We can ignore that fighting point, but then we will take a wound. And right now I'm not feeling like taking a wound actually. And there are some solo variants which say when you die, you lose the game. Maybe that's the same here, but they didn't mention it here for this particular variant. So no, I think I'm not playing this right now. Of course, I could have played it and then, but no, let's not do that. I could have played it and then reduce it again. Doesn't really matter too much actually, because yeah, I don't want to take the wound down here. I think we should be able to move over here maybe during our next round. So we need 3 movement points, so that's definitely not nothing. No, let's simply end our action phase. Those cards are discarded. I think I will discard the curse card here too. Oh, yeah, let's do that actually. Let's do that. And this time we did defeat a most wanted card, so we are revealing the next one here, the Reckless Elite, last seen in Mountain View. Oh, we are heading towards Mountain View, but we need to come up with 10 fighting points and we are totally out of ammunition. That's certainly a problem. But that's pretty much the end of the round. We are drawing back up. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, wait a second. That was stupid because we now have to reshuffle our deck of cards. We have 2 cards left in our deck, which means we are shuffling this right now. And whenever we are doing this, we will trigger the return to San Andreas. This happens unless we are doing the camp action. Oh, so we are, this didn't really help us at all. Oh, I didn't really count this through. That was very stupid. So we are basically at the end of this round during this cleanup step, pretty much moved back to San Andreas, which happens now. Draw up cards, and then if you shuffle it at any point during this past round, then yeah. This includes a reshuffle as a result of the redraw step. So yes, unfortunately, we are moved back to San Andreas. It's okay as well, actually, because then we can, yeah, I think we can get our horse. So we should be good. We should be good. So let's draw our hand of cards. But I was really eager for an actual encounter. So those were the 2 leftover cards. So we have the Treasure Hunter And we have the Survivor, which we already know. So these are 3 fighting points. I have reshuffled our cards. Yeah, that's another curse card and yet another curse card. So we don't have any movement whatsoever. So we definitely need the horse for sure. But we will get the horse. We will get the horse right now. And yeah, let's move into the next round. Again, we will start with the improvise step. The main way we will get more cards into our hand. Oh, that's a cool one. The quick reflexes. That's also a versatile card here, because it gives us both. Here we have the sprint, which gives us 2 movement plus an additional movement if we are basically killing this card, destroying this card. This could really make or break our game. I really like the movement card. You're getting 2 more movement, unless we're getting the horse now. So maybe no, let's go for the quick reflexes. Let's go with the quick reflexes. We are adding this to our hand. And then, yeah, again, we are doing the encounter step in San Andreas, which means we are buying stuff again. We definitely want to hold on to the, not hold on, we want to spend our $6, which we got, right? Yep. And yeah, we will definitely go for the horse. Yeah, we need the horse. That's one of those items that go in one of those slots over here. And yes, you can discard those pretty much anytime. You're not reselling those, you are simply discarding those. But now we can generate 2 movement points each round, which definitely is huge. Let's reveal another card, even though we are out of money. And that's a knife, which, oh yeah, that's a good one. It simply generates 1 fighting point without spending any ammunition. So this goes very well together with our Cold Walker, and it's only $3. That's definitely something to consider too. And again, we are moving into the action phase next. And wow, we could move down here to the canyons. We need 1, 2, 3 movement points and 1 fighting point, which we could generate. Nothing really to gain there. We could fight someone else. I really hate it that we don't have any ammunition, but I wanted that horse badly. I think it's still our best bet. So first of all, we are going to activate our horse. We will basically tap it. That's 2 movement points. Here are 3 movement points and 2 fighting points. 1, 2, and 3. We still have 1 more fighting point left, but we could move over here. Can we generate 2 more movement points? No, we can't. With the curse card here, we can only copy the effect of another card you played, and those horses are basically items or equipments or whatever you want to refer to those. So I think that's pretty much it, actually. So yeah, let's discard this one and maybe just one of those. We don't want to get sent back to San Andreas too quickly, actually. And again, let's not forget our tasks, actually. And we are really far away still. Whew, that's bad. That's so bad. I like this one. This feels really tight with those tasks, actually, from a timing perspective. And right now, I'm really not doing particularly well, actually. On the other hand, could we, before we end it, let's have a quick look at the normal wanted characters. These are the ones that always come back. So right now we have some zombies, we have demons, we have the crows of Mana or Lana, and we have Talbot's gang. Right now we are at we are at canyons, but her special ability allows her to also shoot a wanted an adjacent space, actually. So we could go for the ruins or for the canyons. And we can, we still had 1 fighting point left, right? So we could go for the 4, or we could go for the zombies. But neither of those give us any money here in this case. And the desert, no, the desert is not adjacent. That's the one thing that doesn't really help us. This would be another $1. And we can even defeat them twice if we come up with enough points. But it doesn't really help us. No, it doesn't really help us. I want to hold on to my fighting power for the next round. So no, let's stick to the plan and definitely discard one of those. And let's do that again. So we have discarded down. We are going, well, we are pretty much in the middle of our refresh step. So we are drawing back up. Yeah, here's another curse card and 1 more movement, the expert track. I think that really comes in handy. At least I think. We will also reactivate our horse for the next round. Unfortunately, we haven't defeated any most wanted character. So again, I think in this case, yeah, let's get rid of Alistair Fairweather for now. And we will reveal the next card. This one is already a monster, which could end the game, by the way. And here we have Mana Olana himself, actually. Yeah, 15 points. Of course, you must be kidding me. But yeah, it comes with 7 grit. That's definitely something. And also 2 money. Nice. And yeah, let's move into the next round. And I'm relatively certain I'm not doing particularly well here. So we are the improvise step. Okay. We can get some more fighting power, the uppercut, which could give us even 3 if we trash this card. Or we have this one here, which trash a card from your hand to improvise again. As we still have the Cursed Crow, adding now our curse may not be the worst thing in the world. And it would also allow us to trash a crappy card. I think one of those cursed cards. I think let's do that. It seems maybe a little bit short-sighted, but I don't feel like having too many of those curse cards in my hand. Now let's grab the Call to Darkness and add it to our hand. In theory, we could now play this card, but I think we can also still do that in the normal encounter phase. And now we do, let's say, a more standard encounter phase, so we will actually encounter stuff. Right now, we are not in a cursed location. Cursed locations are those here that are in this glory region, or also those corner locations up here. So we have 2 decks of encounter cards. So these are the standard encounters, and we also have some with a skull, which is then more or less a cursed encounter. In this case, we are going with a standard encounter. We look where we are. We are in a canyon space, so this is the encounter for this round. A bullet kicks up dirt and embeds itself in the ground next to you. It takes you a moment to realize a sniper has you in their crosshairs. You can escape, or for 3 movement, or stand your ground. We could generate those 3 movement points. No, but I don't want that. I really don't want that. No. We will simply take the hit because I really want to move into Mountain View up next. Yeah, let's do that, right? Yeah, let's do that. So we will simply take the hit. On the other hand, the hit costs us $4 because healing costs $4 each. So we would lose $4 here. Just to... Oh no, I think we can't do that. No. Okay, let's take that back. So again, we need to generate 3 movement points. So we have 2 here from our horse, but now we have used our horse. Then we have basically used our expert tracker here too. As we are now moving out of the encounter phase in a second, we might as well discard it right away. But at least we didn't take any hit. That was really a crappy encounter for sure. And before I think we are moving... Oh no, we can still do that, right? There is no rush. No, encounter phase is over. We have generated the movement points. No, let's not do that just now. So we are ending the encounter phase right now. And the other thing why I didn't want to lose it here, we have the survivor here. So we need 1 more healing point, basically, or health point, to complete the survivor up here. So again, let's not do that either. Okay, let's move into the action phase. And the first thing we are doing there is to play our Call to Darkness card, which says treasure card from your hand to improvise again. First of all, we need to increase our curse, which right now is okay. We can still do that. 2 more steps and we are getting cursed, which means we are flipping this to the other side. But again, this allows us to improvise again. We are getting rid of the curse card here. So this is out of our hand. Bye-bye. And then, yeah, let's draw 2 more cards and add those to our hand. Oh, a blessing and the sprint. Oh, yeah. It really works perfectly well. We get to hold on to the Call of Darkness. Yeah, we have trashed a card from your hand. We have played this card. This is no longer in our hands. No, we don't want the blessing. We want the sprint. So this goes into our blade area basically, and this goes to our hand. That's perfect. We are still in our action phase, so we are definitely spending the 2 movement here to move into Mountain View, and as our action there, we are going for a relic action. We don't have to spend any resources, so those are the 2 things we can find there. I think this is a boomerang, and I can't really remember what those are, but we have a deck of cards which goes to those icons here. So where do we have it? This is the boomerang, right? 6 fighting points. You must be kidding me. And the other one is, ooh, where is this? Oh, the youth elixir. You must be kidding me. That's the perfect one. It helps us with the survivor. It doesn't really help us with the cursed crow, but I still take it actually. In a competitive version of the game, this is 5 points at the end of the game. That's huge. So I guess we will take the youth elixir. Yeah, let's do that. And as with any other improvised cards you get, we will simply add it to our hand. We can no longer take black items now, which means the leftover token is pretty much removed from the game. So nothing to gain in Mountain View, that is, but I still take it. So the boomerang is out of the game then 2, but that's okay. 2 actually. It's 6 fighting point, that's not nothing, but I still take it. And right now there is no reason not to play it right away actually, so we are going to play the youth elixir to reduce our curse and to increase our health. Perfect, and we can do that every time. It simply goes into our discard pile. It keeps these relics or artifacts are really huge. As we have now 5 health, we can immediately complete the job here. The survivor, which gives us 5 grit, and I think I do remember now, we have to do that because I think that also counts for the solo mode. As soon as someone reaches 21 points, the first monster will appear. And I think that's also the case for the solo mode. Though again, it also speeds up the game quite significantly actually. But yeah, we will also get $3 more here, and $3 more could be the knife at some point in time, for example. So I definitely take that. So let's get rid of this job. Let's reveal the next card, and that's the post officer with, oh, we need to come up with 5 movement points. That, I think that feels doable actually. But getting the artifact was pretty much the action for our turn. We could still do other stuff like moving. That's still allowed after taking your action with leftover movement points. We don't have any of those, so we might as well end our action phase now. So those cards simply get discarded. Again, we didn't really defeat any of those. And yeah, I think, oh no, here we still have 1 more. We don't want monsters to appear too quickly actually, because then I think things can go south relatively quickly actually. But still, let's go for the tougher one here, the 10. So let's get rid of it too. We will reveal it. Next card then after this one would be a monster. We don't know which one, though they're really shuffled in there randomly. And here we have some guards in the canyons with 8 points. And yeah, they give us $4. That's definitely something. Okay, we can decide to discard some of those. Mountain View. Do we need fighting points now like crazy? We want to, on the other, no, let's hold on to the fighting points right now. We'll simply add 2 more cards to our hand. Ooh, that's more fighting points. Ooh, we need some movement. Okay, here's some movement, but not quite enough. Okay, we have the horse still, so this will definitely help us. Yeah, I think we can move. I think that's still okay. That's good enough. Perfect. And then again, that's the end of our round. We are moving into the next round. We will improvise again. And yeah, this feels a little bit lame to me, actually. Really. Oh, Wicked World. Yeah, I think that's a no-brainer, actually. Simply getting 2 ammunition by playing this card, I think that's a no-brainer. Especially because we have the Gunslinger here too, which could, yeah, I think that's a no-brainer. So we will basically discard this one. We are adding this to our hand again. Gorgeous artwork, and add it to our hand accordingly. Then we are going into the encounter phase, and now we are at Mountain View, and all of those corner locations count as cursed, which means we are drawing a card from our respective deck here from the curse deck. They come with some nice artwork too, and they always come with some choices too. So it's a wicked world. Obviously some bad slaughtering did happen here, so we could either spend 2 movement points to bury the bodies for 2 grit. Again, grit might be not a good thing in the solo mode here. We can come up with 2 fighting points to use blood in ritual. Or we can simply leave and lose 3 victory points, which again in this case could be cool. Let me see. Oh, we have gotten rid of the other task card. That's a bummer. That's really a bummer. So maybe we do want to go, but getting 2 of those, maybe there is another of those. What was it actually? Which one did we discard? Not the survivor. There was a card which required us to have 8 or so health points. I mean, we have the fighting power. We get the curse up again, which also may not be the worst thing in the world. Yeah, let's do that actually. Let's do that. So we are spending the 2 money, the 2 fighting power here. We are basically invoking a ritual, which gives us 2 health. Oh, that's pretty powerful, but also 1 curse. But I still think that this is okay. And yeah, that was pretty much our encounter there. So we have played our card. Nothing else to do there. So no, let's move into the action phase, and before we do anything else there, we are definitely going to play our Wicked World here, which will simply give us 2 ammunition. That's so incredibly powerful card. Then I guess we are going to spend our horse to move over to the canyons again. In the canyons we could get rid of maybe the guards, but no, the guards we could get rid of Butch Talbot here, because he comes with 2 ammunition. But can we come up with enough fighting power actually? So we have 4 basically in our hand with our ability, and we have 3 more here. No, that's 7. The 8 doesn't work either. So no, I think this doesn't really help us. That's really disappointing. Where do we want to camp now? We can camp in ruins now. We could camp, and if we camp we can basically fulfill this task here. For example, we want to get back to San Andreas sooner or later, but we also want to get rid of some of our tasks. But right now that's not gonna happen with $3. Yeah, we need more money actually. So this Gunslinger, the post office again, that's the one piece which we might go for, but we don't have the 5 movement either. Maybe we should camp now in the ruins, because if we do that, we would basically gain $3 more, and that would help us with the Gunslinger one. That's the action for our turn then. We shuffle all the discards and hand cards into our draw deck and draw back, but then we are not being sent back to San Andreas. Not sure if that's a good thing or not. Maybe we still want to get hold of another artifact or so. But yeah, getting the extra money now might be really key actually. But yeah, not so fast. These are not ruins. These are ruins. Up there, this is a canyon. We could go to Palenque actually. This is this one here. This would give us even more dollars actually. We need 1 more movement, which we have. In order to move here, we can move that. Again, moving is not really, it's still part of our standard stuff, and we need 1 fighting power. So let's do that actually. So we are moving over here into another cursed location. Then we are camping here, which means all our hand of cards, our discarded cards, everything basically, and the rest of our deck gets shuffled back into our deck. But we have completed this mission here. We were brave enough to camp there, so we get 5, giving 1 back. So we are now at 7 money. That's not nothing actually. And we are moving to 14 grit. That's the threshold, which I'm a little bit concerned about. But the monster will show up relatively soon anyway, and we have to take care of it. Otherwise we will lose the game for sure. And really, I like the timing aspect of this game actually, the solo mode. It seems, or it feels threatening enough to me. Really intriguing. But yeah, this one has been dealt with, and I will keep the normal jobs a little bit apart from the jobs we have achieved for our, let's say, solitaire variant here, because normally you cannot complete jobs that you already have completed. Here I'm also not sure if these jobs, the normal jobs, have any kind of dependency to the jobs you have to fulfill to win the game here, or if you play with jobs in the first place. I still think you do. Maybe not. Really confusing stuff, actually. But yeah, I think that's pretty much the end of our round. I will shuffle the cards here, and then yeah, we are simply moving back into the next round. Of course, before we forget, we have to discard one of those. I think we are getting rid of Butch Talbot now, because I still don't want to have a monster on the board. We have Laverne. Okay, only 7 reduces our curse and 3 grit. Okay, we have to live with that. And then yeah, of course, let's draw our hand of cards. So let's see what we get. Oh, 3, that's the hired gun. The treasure hunter. We need movement. We need movement like crazy. Call to darkness. Okay, maybe. That's a big maybe. And the sprint. That's some more movement. Okay, I take that. Lovely. And then we are moving into the improvised step. So let's draw 2 more cards. The uppercut is back. And oh, more wicked world. Yeah, again. Do we need? I think we need it. I really do think we need it, because this is 2 fighting power. Adding this gives us 4 fighting power anyway. So I think that's the more power. Yeah, that's maybe a 3, but still. I think that's the better card for now. And you can have duplicates of the same card, obviously. So we are adding this to our hand. We have to draw our encounter. We are definitely in a cursed space now. So let's add the proper card, the Redless. For 3 movement points, we can evade it. Improvise again this turn. That's tempting for sure. We can fight in the pit, trash a card in your hand, or discard. Trash, of course, is also not bad. Or we can simply get knocked out and lose 1 life point. No, I think evade and improvise again is the better deal. So we are playing this card, and we are basically using our horse. We still have the movement point left. We can use it in the encounter phase. That is allowed for sure. So we are improvising again now, hopefully adding something useful to our hand. The blessing and the gallop. Oh, another card. Oh, yeah, of course, that's a no-brainer. We will go with the gallop. Awesome. We will add this to our hand. We still have the movement point, because these are 4 and we only needed 3. So in theory, we could continue to move. Here we would get another curse, which is okay. Is it? Yeah, that's we are now really on a bad path. Of course, we could move back to the ruins of Palenque and then move back up here, but okay, how many movement points do we need to make it to Mana or Lana over here? That's the same thing, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movement points in total. Again, that's doable. That's doable. We could have... Oh, maybe I was too quick here. Okay, do we want to... Again, the question is, do we want to move again, or do we want to stay here in the ruins of Palenque this round? Again, we can hang around there without any problems or whatsoever. Or do we want to go somewhere? We can... if we camp in the ruins, we could gain some more stuff. The problem is... That's interesting. Again, we will lose it. We will lose the movement points. We have 1 left. We have 2 in our hands still. That's 3. That's not enough to get rid of the post officer here. Maybe that's something I should have thought about. I get cursed anyway if I improvise again. Do I want to improvise again, or do I simply want to hold on? No, I think I want to move back here with the movement point here. And we have to still play a card. So we need 1 fighting power, which is still okay. So we have basically used all of our things this encounter phase. So we are ending the encounter phase now. Accordingly, this simply gets discarded. And I think, yeah, before I forget, I will play the Wicked World here. We are getting 2 more ammunition, bringing us to 4 out of 4. That's definitely a good start. But what next? What next? We could, we have 2 movement points here, and this would also allow us to draw a card. But on the other hand, that's 2 movement points, which we could use for the next round to fulfill our post officer task or job. I'm really tempted to not do that, actually. So we will basically, we could camp again, but I don't want to camp. I don't want to camp. I think in theory can simply pass. On the other hand, we could now shoot someone. Again, generating some more points or stuff. Again, we could go for the zombies. The zombies are here in the canyons. Again, we can also shoot into the ruins. We have 3 fighting power, and this would give us a card and a movement point. Maybe it's a good card. Let's try that. I think timing is definitely important. So let's try that. So we will generate 3 fighting points. We will shoot the zombies here. We will get the reward. That's 1 point and 1 card from our deck. So let's see what we get. And that's 1 movement point. But I still think we can do stuff with it. Okay, let's hold on for a second. We will then flip this to the other side. Still zombies, but they come with different rewards. Now, okay, these zombies will give us $3, which we can shoot them again, actually, if we can come up with 4 more points, which we could with our bullets, but I want to hold on to the bullets actually right now. So no, we will put them back. Cool, I take it. This card has been played, and now, yeah, but this 1 movement point. Maybe we could go for, the 2 here would bring us to the curse limit. And then we would flip our card over. So we no longer have the passive ability. We will have now the penalty here, which tells us once per round we have to spend 1 move or suffer 1 wound. And I don't like that, at least as long as we need movement. So I think let's not do that just yet. So we will simply hold on to that. And I think that's still okay. That's still okay. So let's end our turn now. Again, the action was to shoot at those wanted zombies over there. We can still discard a card, and now I'm really tempted to discard the Call to Darkness for now. Let's do that. We are drawing back up to 4 cards. More movement. Okay, and more bullets. Bullets do not really help us right now because, again, our ammunition limit is a 4-2, but we could go here and then immediately play that card, and then we would have the Gunslinger achieved too. Of course, we have to get back to San Andreas for that. Okay, something to consider. But again, that's the end of the round. As we are playing solo, we have to discard a card, and I think here we still have one. So Bartholomew Emus is gone. We are revealing the next card, and again, no matter where we go next, we will see a monster appearing. So we have the Cult of Horus here with 11. Okay, let's see about that. And again, in the normal competitive mode of the game, this is really what you are going after, really, because they give you a lot of victory points in the end. So you really want to get after those most wanted things, or also getting rid of the monsters, because yeah, they will make or break the game for you. Okay, let's move into the next round. Let's improvise again. Okay, on to plan B. Oh, the train heist. 2-2-1. Yeah, I think that's a no-brainer. We will go with a train heist here. Cool. This gives us some dollars. I love that. Then we are in the encounter phase. Now we are no longer in a cursed location, so we will go with a standard card. This is our adventure, or rather the encounter. You have the uneasy feeling that someone is following you. As you look above you, you catch a glimpse of a cougar. It roars and pounces towards you. You can dive out and away by trashing a card from your hand, or get pinned by the beast, -1 health, and struggle your way free. So we can simply discard a card from our hand. I think we can do that. I think we can actually do that. And yeah, it seems wasteful. On the other hand, we will discard. It's not trash, right? No, trashing a card. It's really trashing a card. No, trashing. In this case, of course, we are going to trash the Expert Tracker, which is our standard card. So we are not taking the wound here. So we have dealt with this encounter. Awesome. Up next is the action phase. And again, we still want to achieve this thing here. We need 5 movement points. And I think we can actually do that. 2, 3, and 5. We are gaining 1, we are losing 1. That's fine. Here we are still drawing a card into our hand, so let's do that. Okay, that's another Expert Tracker. I take that. But this also means we have basically dealt with this post officer. We are getting 3 more grit here, and we are taking 2 more water dollars. Nice. Okay, awesome. Awesome, 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 awesome. Again, this was not an action going after these jobs. That's basically something that you can do anytime during your turn, actually. But before we do, let's see what next card in that stack here is. Camp in Ruins. And again, we haven't taken our action yet. I think we can actually achieve that right away. I think we can. Let's do that. The ruins are up here, so we need to come up with a movement point. That's not a problem. We just got the expert tracker. We don't have the fighting point. We could now generate 2 with 1 ammunition. No, but I don't feel like it. We are simply taking the wound here. Yes, I do know it's $4 in theory, but we are still at 6, so we should be okay. And again, this wasn't an action. We simply moved around and we completed jobs. Something that you can simply do like that. But yeah, this means we are now going to camp in the ruins there. Again, we are shuffling all our cards back into our deck. We are not being sent back to San Andreas. Again, not sure if I like that or not. We have to get back to San Andreas sooner or later anyway. But I will deal with that anyway. We are still getting... Oh, is that a problem? No, it's not. It's really not. So we're adding 1, 2, 3, 4 points. We have made it over this threshold. We still get the $3 though. So we are now at $12 overall. That's not too shabby. Before we now bring out a monster, because this is what the threshold means, we are going to reveal our next job here. The tour guide. Didn't we have that tour guide? No, we have the tour guide in our normal jobs, actually. Yeah, and again, I don't know if you can do that now simultaneously or not. So we need 7 movement points. And with the way our deck currently works, I'm fairly comfortable that we should be able to make that, actually. And I think we still haven't used our horse. But now we can't. So we are basically ending our turn at this point in time. But because we made it over the threshold, and maybe it is a problem now, but now I reshuffled. That was stupid. So we made it over the threshold, which means we have to bring out a monster. And we don't really know what monster is. So we are basically taking one of the stacks and go to the bottom thing. I think the card still stays here, what it is. And we are still revealing it. And we have the Crow Prime, which is in Mana Orlana. That could be a problem. I don't know, but it comes out here in Mana Orlana, and it will now start moving towards San Andreas. The next problem is, again, it's the end of the round. We haven't defeated a most wanted character, which means the next one is going to get defeated. And I think let's simply go for Mana Orlana, actually, and yeah, reveal the next monster in the row. And that was really the thing I didn't think about. And that's Tsikali. It's this snake, worm, dragon-like thing here. It goes to Mountain View. Okay, that's at least nearby, but it requires 20 fighting points. But I still think it's beatable, actually. It is. We need 3 movement points to get here to Mountain View and 1 fighting point. I'm not really concerned about the fighting point. And then we could defeat it, but still, Mana Orlana will move. The question now is, I think the monster, does it move now, actually? Does it move now? That's a good point now. Because monster movement, it says here. Now the timing is a thing. When do these monsters appear? This monster with a 21, that was clear. The first monster in Mana Orlana, I think this was there before we really went into our cleanup phase. I'm relatively certain about that. But the game is played normal, but at the end of every player turn, which we did. If you did not capture a most wanted bounty, you must discard one of the pile of the choose. This will mean the game is always progressing towards. And I still think the end of the turn means after everything here during the cleanup has done, which means we are not doing the monster movement of Tsikali, because again, I still think this came out after we have done everything, so monster movement is done, but this monster will definitely move towards San Andreas, and it will take it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more turns until it makes it there. And this one, 2, 3, 4. This only 4 if I counted this correctly. There's no connection between this canyon and Manyaolana. Whew, okay, things have ramped up quite a bit. So moving over this 21, this was really bad. I mean, it would have happened anyway, but if I would have waited actually, then if a monster is out on the board and we make it over the 21, we are not adding another monster. That's important. But okay, let's draw our hand of cards. So we basically have a fresh deck. Yeah, that's a bad start. Oh, the Call to Darkness. Okay, we have some movement. We need fighting points. Oh, we have dollars. Oof. And some more movement. We don't have any fighting power in our hand whatsoever. Ooh, that's terrible. We still have our improvise step, which will actually happen right now. So let's see. Oh, the gallop is also not bad. But yeah, I think we need a snatch. This is 2-2-1. It's similar to the post heist, but this is, I think we need this one now. Yeah, for sure. So this goes into our hand. Then we are dealing with our encounter in the ruins this time. So we're going for the middle one. A woman covered in a shroud waves you to her with gnarled hands. She's a healer and says she will reduce your curse for a bit of water. You can pay her 2 water to basically, yeah, reduce 2 curse. And that's tempting, because then we could basically use our thing. Yeah, let's do that. We have a lot of money actually in our hand right now. So we are paying her the $2 to reduce our curse to more. Cool. That was our encounter. Let's move into the action phase. First of all, let's do the easy stuff. So we are basically getting 2 more bucks. Pretty much getting the dollars back we just spent. Lovely. And then we are going to, yeah, let's do the Call to Darkness, allowing us to discard a card. I think we will discard, oh, the expert tracker. On the other hand, wait a second, we have 4, 5, no, oh, let's not do that just yet. Let's not do that this round. I think that's still okay. We can get rid of the tour guide now actually. And I think we have to do that. We have to do that. So we are in our action phase basically going to do this, this and this, because these are 5 movement points plus the horse. That's 7, and 7 is now enough to deal with our tour guide here. Cool. So we get another $4, so we are now at 16 in total, and we get 5 grit. I think right now grit is now really doesn't matter at all anymore. The tour guide is gone, and this also means we have completed our very first job track here. And here there's a possibility to get rid of this 2 here relatively soon actually. Oh, I love that. I think we still, yeah, let's be careful, because we still have to increase our curse from this card here. We have 2 more fighting points. We could go after zombies or the demons, but no, I don't feel like that actually. That's interesting. And I guess right now I don't want to camp again, so I guess I'm going to pass. I think I don't have to take an action, right? Yeah, I don't think I have to do that. The problem now is we will see more monsters, and that's now our problem, because again, if the 4th monster is on the board, we will also lose the game, and this could happen at the end of the next round. Ooh, and we will not get through this deck here, relatively certain about that. Oh, that's now really a bad timing thing. I didn't think about the 4 monster limit actually. Which makes perfect sense actually, but there's nothing really I could do now. No, we have to end it. So we have to discard another card, and yeah, it doesn't really matter too much. Let's go with the guards. Yeah, let's go with guards. We will see the 3rd monster appearing, and that's the white demon actually. And the white demon goes to expedition. That's not this fella. I think this is this fella here. Going up here again, he wouldn't move now. I really should play these things in order. We are now going through our refresh step, and quite honestly, I do think we have to get rid of this card now. We need 4 fresh hands now, because we want to get rid, oh, bullets, we don't need bullets now. Okay, this is good. This is good. Movement and fighting and more fighting. Okay, I take that. But now, of course, the monsters would move, which is both good and bad. The snake will move here to the canyon, so one more step away. And the, what is it here? I keep forgetting it. That's Lana, exactly. We'll move up here to the curse of Hangman tree. And I think then, yeah, it will move down here. 1, 2, 3, 4 more turns. The main problem is the 4 monster limit. So we have to get rid of a monster this round. Otherwise, we will lose the game. So this is our goal for this round. Awesome. I like that. So let's get into the improvise step. So we need fighting points like crazy. Nope. And yes, the uppercut. Okay, this can really at least give us one more round. Cool, let's take this into our hand. Let's do the encounter next. We are still in a ruin space, and those encounters I really do like. This gives the game a nice theme and a lot of things, a lot of little twists and things you can experience and encounter throughout the game. I like this a lot. You come across a group of children. They talk about the surrounding area and help show you a shortcut to where you are going. All they ask for in return is a little water. Will you share your water? -3 or stiff them. Take the shortcut and move 2 spaces, up to 2 spaces of this. I think that's perfect. I really do think that this is perfect. I will pay 3 waters. This is really expensive stuff. So we will spend 5 getting 2 back. And yeah, this will allow me to move here to Xilkali. Xilkali it is. Awesome. Okay, I have dealt with this encounter. So I like that a lot actually. And now we will try to get after Xilkali. Again, let's bring it out. It needs 20 fighting points. Can we do that actually? I think we can't actually. Okay, maybe let's hold back. I mean, I still have the 2 movement points. Let's not forget. I mean, I haven't drawn any cards. Can I come up with 20 points? In total, I can generate, because I still have the bullets in my hand, I can generate 12 points from my bullets. Then I need 8 more. I have 4 in my hands, 5 in my hands, so that's 17. No, I will not be able to defeat this beast. The question now is, could I move somewhere else? And the only realistic one right now is the white demon here with a 16, because I think I can generate 16 resources or 16 fighting power. I really don't have enough ammunition. That's really a problem now. That's really a major problem. So no, I think Xilkali needs to get back. So again, let me take that back. So I was here when I encountered the children. So I could move 1, 2 spaces up there. I think this is the only chance I have. Up there I need 4 movement points though to get there. That's a major problem actually. I have 4 movement points. No, I can do that. I can do that. So here are 2 and we have the horse. We can still hold on to the fighting point, so we have to keep that in our back pocket. Here I will simply take a wound. I think I think I can even spend this to not take this point, the hit point here. So we have 2 points here. I will generate 1, 2. Then we bring the bullets back. So 1, 2 more. So that's again 3 times this ability here. That's 12. So we have 14 in total now. And then with the 2 here, we are generating 2 more. That's 16 we need. Wow, that's amazing. So the white demon is no more. We will gain 8 points for that, up to 35 grit. So we have taken care of our first monster out there, which was the only thing which would hold me from losing the game. Now 4 monsters can't appear, which means I can still win it actually. Wow, that's so amazing. And in theory I could go for a relic a little bit later actually. I cannot do that right now of course, because my action was to take out that monster, the white demon up there. That was really a close call actually. If I wouldn't have gotten this encounter with those kids, I would be toast actually. still have to end the round. They will move towards San Andreas. I think here are 2 more rounds until it, or 2 more. I think it will move here actually, because it will always move the shortest path, or then the path with the fewest icons. So yeah, I think we will not be able to make it, because I can also not make it back to San Andreas to get through my ammunition. So I think I'm pretty much toast. I think I'm really pretty much, unless something really amazing comes up now, I think I'm out of luck. Okay, we will draw our cards. I will do that now off camera. I will still do my improv. Oh, $4 and a curse. Treasure hunting. Oh, we need the movement, I believe. I believe this time we do need the movement for sure. In order to have any glimpse of hope, we have to go with the movement. We have to encounter an expedition, which again is a cursed location. All those corner locations are, and here we have found a mysterious cave. So we can either generate 4 fighting power to draw 2 cards, so we can throw up a rope. Okay, we can get 2 grit for 2 movement points. This is what I would do in the competitive version, or I could simply get hurt. I think I do not really care about the fighting points actually. No, I think not. I think we can spend those. So we are generating 5 fighting points here, or we could, yeah, let's do that, which means we will now be allowed to draw 2 cards. Maybe this comes in handy. I think that's okay. 1, okay, that's cool. 1 more movement, 2 more. Okay, this could really save our behind. Okay, cool. Yeah, I know we have a lot of movement in our hands, so this really might come in extremely handy. So of course, normally I would totally go after these artifacts here. The thing is, I have to move to San Andreas. We need 4, 5, 6 movement points to make it down there, though it's not impossible. And then we could, we still haven't taken our action. We could still shop here in San Andreas for our action. I think that's still our best bet. Okay, let's see about that. So we need, let's take this one at a time, right? So we may have to suffer some wounds now, but I take that. So that's basically 2 movement points and a card. Let's draw that card. Maybe that's another, oh, that's more movement. Oh, I take that. So we are moving to here with this. We are simply taking the wound. I still think that's okay. We are moving down to 5 health. I still think we can live with that. Then we need, I don't know, 2 more movement points. We can leave the card here. Again, we draw this to our hand. We are moving down here. We are taking 2 more dollars. We have the train heist, and we are moving our curse tracker up. We are now up at 2, not a problem. Then we need 2 more movement points. That I think is this one here. 1, 2 into San Andreas now. We still have to take a wound. We are going down to 4. We will play our youth elixir, which will give us a wound back and will reduce our curse. And again, we still haven't taken our action. And as an action in San Andreas, we can counter our space again. Before we do that, we will generate 2 more bullets, which could be extremely important now. And again, as our encounter in San Andreas, we are definitely going to shop there. Let's do that. Before we deal with any of the cards down here, we definitely want to increase our bullet capacity, right? So we need to do that at least twice. So let's do that right now. 1 and 2. That's $4 in total. Not a problem. We can afford that. Nice. Every bullet we are now going to spay is, we need $4 more now to basically go to 6. So we're getting 1 back here. We still have $7 in our pocket, but we have now reached our bullet level, which is now a 6. We have 6, so we have completed the Gunslinger one. This gives us $1 back. Amazing, and 3 more grit. We do not care about the grit, but we have taken care of our next job. We will reveal the next one right away. And this one is Camp in Desert. That's a problem actually, because it's one of those stalling ones. Up next, we could now increase our curse limit like crazy, but that's $3 more each. So I don't think that this is our best bet. But we still have a lot of money left. So maybe we increase our health a little bit more. But I definitely do want to have the knife. Let's put this into our pocket too, because it generates us 1 attack point basically for free. Oh, the Winchester rifle. That's a better version. Are you kidding me? Now I'm broke. Are you kidding me? Oh man, for 6-2 would be definitely better choice. Okay, anyway, nothing we can do about it. And then, yeah, let's continue to increase our bullet capacity. As we still have $5, I think we are going to spend this to do 1, 2, and with 1 more buck we are basically getting 1 more ammunition here. Yeah, this was basically our step in San Andreas. Do we want to hold on to this or not? We can hope for more fighting power. Now, we are discarding this card now, which would bring us to San Andreas anyway, because we are down to 3 cards. So we will get back to San Andreas no matter what. But we really went through a lot of cards, actually. So let's do that now. Of course, we do draw our card. That's curse card. Now the curse cards come out twice. Are you kidding me? That's not bad, but these are bad. Of course, yeah, I had to... that's so bad. Okay, anyway, I have to reshuffle the rest of my hand. It's really a thick deck now. I mean, I can still copy cards, so maybe that's still not the end of the world, actually. But let's see about that. And we have to get rid of a monster now, because I will not be able... If the Camp in Desert would be my last card, I would be able to win, basically, in the next turn. But that's not gonna happen for sure. So let's draw our next card. Yeah, that's bad. I think that's pretty much game over. And yeah, last but not least, those monsters move. Again, they will always move the shortest path. 1, 2, 1, 2, using the lowest amount of icons or smallest amount, and they will move in here. So yeah, if we are not getting rid of this round, then this, I think, ooh, that's so bad. Yeah, that's really a pity. I think the second monster came simply 1 round too early. That was really our main problem, for sure. Disappointing, but okay. Let's move into the next and yeah, most likely final round. So we are going to improvise again. That's an let's see about that. I mean, this doesn't help us for sure. So we can basically get rid of this, and we could... Let's take it for now. It's our encounter in San Andreas. We will simply draw 2 job cards. The Apprentice. Yeah, this would have been easy. And another Apprentice. Again, the way I understand the rules, you can have duplicate cards in your hand, but you cannot take a card if you already completed that job. So I still think I'm okay. The rules are a little bit ambiguous now, but I still think I'm going to sell one of those cards now for $4. Pretty sure I won't need it, but why should I hold on to this? And then, yeah, I'm doing my action. Actually, I do think we might be able to beat this guy now. So first of all, we need to generate 1 movement point. That's, I think it's only 1. Yeah, right. That's not a problem. We are moving into the space. We are not suffering anything. Only if I think it moves onto a space where there is a hero, then this hero will take a wound. But right now, that's okay. We have moved in here. Now we have to come up with 20 points, right? Yes. And that's our problem. So, or maybe it's not our problem. So we can generate basically 12 points by spending 6 ammunitions here. We are spending 1 more for our Cold Walker, so that's 14 points. 14 points is lovely. We still have the knife. That's maybe 1 more point. That's 15, but I think the knife doesn't really help us in this case. So again, we have 12, 14 points, right, by spending all our ammunition here. Then we have 16 points with this. Then we are playing the curse card, which allows me to copy the effect of another card you play this phase, which is this. We are getting 1 curse, which is fine. 16, that's 18. Then we are doing the same thing again, and that's the 20 points we needed to basically kill Xikali here, which is 10 more grids, moving us to 48. Hooray! And this monster is no more. But the problem is the next monster will move into our space anyway. Because that's pretty much the end of our round. We will... Should we discard it now? I think we will. Will we discard it? Will give us some more flexibility, but we still have that card. No, I will discard this card now, actually. And again, this is the end of the round. This will move into our space. We are losing 1 health. We are still at 4, which is totally fine. I will refill my hand of cards, and then again, we will move into the next. And this is now really the final round. Whatever happens, this will be the final round. But I guess with this hand of cards, there is no real chance. Oh, maybe I have forgotten to bring out another monster actually last round. I think this card shouldn't be here anyway. I'm not sure if this counts for monsters too. I think it's a most wanted. No, I think it's a most wanted bounty. So I still think even if it's only a monster, we have taken care. No, I think we should be good. But yeah, with this 2, I mean, that's 6 strength points actually. And maybe another card here. Oof. Problem is we don't have enough of ammunition. That's our main problem. Let's improvise. Yeah, this doesn't help, and this doesn't help either. If I really would know what cards would be in the stack, then I could camp, but then this thing would move. Yeah, I think we will get rid of the sprint. We will take the path of enlightenment for what it's worth. And then, yeah, we still have to encounter in a desert space. You pass out from the heat of the desert and wake up to find yourself tied up. You can free yourself 1 strength by using your strength to snap the ropes, or negotiate your freedom by giving your captors all of your dollars. Yeah, I think we don't really need the dollars anymore. So we can simply spend the dollars. Perfect. So we have talked ourselves out of this. Up next is our action phase. And again, we have to come up with basically 22 fighting points. And that's ridiculous. I think that's the most powerful one out there. I don't know. First of all, let's simply generate those move points. This brings us down to only 2 curse. That's basically the main thing, actually. Then we are spending our Wicked World bullets to go to 2 bullets. Then I have to do it. We will do the Call to Darkness, which will add 2 more things. So we are being cursed now. Oops. First time in the game we are being cursed. But again, this allows us to trash a card to improvise again. So we are trashing the sprint card now. I still don't think we have... Oh, drawing 2 cards could be it. And we can trash a card from your hand. Okay, let's do that. So we are definitely going for the morals. We are playing the morals to draw 2 more cards from our hand. 1 and 1. And yeah, is the morals something? Do we have to trash a card now? Or is this an optional thing like in Dune Imperium? And unfortunately, as per the FAQ, as part of the rules, this is not optional. You have to do everything or you can't do that. So yeah, doesn't really matter. It would have been okay, but in this case, I have to trash, I don't know, the upper card. Let's go with this, yeah, I don't know. So we have to trash this card now. And the problem is I will not be able to generate enough fighting power. So here we can come up with in total 6 if we trash this card here, which is not bad. 6 plus 4 more, that's 10, and that's 11. So we basically have done half of what was needed to beat or defeat Crow Prime here. Yeah, which is definitely a problem. And that's basically game over, because up next Monster would then activate. They will move into San Andreas and we would have lost the game right away. What a pity. Let's have a quick look at the next. Let's say we would have camped at some point. What would be your next one? Believer. Okay, that's an interesting one. So you basically have to die in order to fulfill that. Then immediately you would have fulfilled that. Dying makes you lose some points and whatnot. You're not really out of the game, but yeah, you're simply defeated. And then the last one here would be the Executioner. 10. Oh, yeah, I think we wouldn't have been able to achieve that. What would be below of those things here? The Farman, yeah, that would have been an easy one. 3 movement points. Are you kidding me? That's ridiculous. And here the Conman, 6 curse. That's also not easy to achieve, but still easier than this one here. I mean, if you would have been here, then getting here would have been piece of cake, I guess. Ooh, 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 ooh. But yeah, that's how you play the Few and Cursed with one of the solo rules. It may have seemed that the game or the rules are not properly written. That's not true for the normal competitive mode of game. Yeah, there are some things which may have been a little bit clear, but most of those things for the competitive version of the game have been clarified in the meantime on the Geek. So I think you can play this game competitively without a lot of problems. Basically, relatively straight out of the box. The main questions now really come with those solo and co-op variants. The co-op variant itself is also relatively clear, it seems, but it's not so clear for the solo variants. This is where you simply need some more clarifications. And I wasn't really able to find those on the Geek. I haven't really looked through all the threads. There were some questions haven't been answered, some questions have been answered also by the designers. So I'm not really sure what happened here in the solo mode. Pretty much, I'm pretty sure they simply have added those relatively late to the game, really didn't think those through. At least that's how I think about those. I may be wrong. And then yeah, correct me if you would like, but they're not really clear. The rest of the game is, I would really say, crystal clear, with the FAQs in here, with some of the questions that have been answered on the Geek, and some of those help files on the Geek there too. So you can really play this game in the normal fashion, and I think I would enjoy that. It felt really close now, so I liked it, despite, let's say, the little rules, ambiguities or unclarities. Apart from that, I really enjoyed it. It felt very tight. I would have been able maybe to defeat this fella here. If this guy would have showed up somewhere else, or would have been the other monster, for example, with 18, I might have had a chance at some point in time. But here really a lot of things went wrong, and I'm pretty sure I didn't really play it particularly well. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed my little solo playthrough of the Few and Cursed. Really beautiful to look at, and it's also fun to play. I like deck builders quite a bit actually, and this one also feels very deck builderish to me, even though you're not really buying your card, you simply get them shoved in your face. But okay, I take that, and I really do hope you enjoyed it too. Huge shout out to all of my patrons out there. Really, really, really do appreciate all your support. And yeah, with that being said, hope to see you soon in one of my other videos, and until then, bye bye.